After a while. Not like comfort, more like scar tissue. Every morning starts the same. I wake before daylight, check perimeter lines, reset noise traps, scan the tree line with binoculars until my eyes burn. Emily stays wrapped in the blankets until I give the all clear. She doesn't ask questions, she just waits. That's what trauma teaches you. Wait, watch, and be quiet. I inventory supplies every third day. Food, stable, water, filtered and stored. Ammo, tight but workable. Medical, fragile. The pharmacy haul helped, but infections don't care about careful planning. Scratches happen, cuts happen, and winter is coming whether we're ready or not. So I start taking longer trips, deeper trips. Not just to town, past town. Industrial zones, storage yards, suburban medical clinics, anywhere that might still have what we need. Each trip is a gamble. Every mile costs energy. Every sound carries. The first long run takes me 12 miles south. I leave Emily with a radio, 3 days of food laid out in clear containers, and strict instructions. If anyone comes, you hide. She nods. She always nods. I move early before the fog burns off the fields. The world smells different now. Rot mixed with wet leaves and rust. Every abandoned house feels like it's watching me. I pass a school bus tipped sideways into a ditch. Tiny shoes scattered across the pavement. I don't stop. I don't let myself imagine. I don't want to know. By midday, I reach a veterinary clinic. Doors smashed. But inside, I find antibiotics meant for livestock. Not ideal, but antibiotics don't care who they were designed for. I pack what I can, but behind the building, I hear breathing. Slow, wet. An infected stands in the shade, half its face gone, jawbone exposed. It doesn't charge, it just watches. I raise my rifle, it tilts its head. They're learning. That night I camp in a drainage culvert. No fire, just cold protein bars and quiet breathing. I dream of Emily calling my name. The second long run takes me into the suburbs. Rows of identical homes, identical lawns, identical mailboxes, all empty. It's like civilization packed up and left without telling anyone. I go door to door. Medicine cabinets, garages, basements. In one house, I find a family dog still chained in the backyard. Starved, too weak to bark. I cut the chain. It doesn't follow me. It just collapses in the grass. I put it down. That one sticks with me. Inside a cul-de-sac, I run into another survivor. Older man. Shotgun. We stare at each other from opposite driveways. Neither raises a weapon. He shakes his head slowly. Not today. I nod. We back away. Sometimes survival is just mutual exhaustion. Emily starts talking more. Not full conversations, just pieces, single words, observations. She watches everything, counts footsteps, counts shots. One evening she asks, "Do they sleep?" The infected? I shake my head. No. She considers that for a moment. That must be loud inside their heads. I don't have an answer. She starts helping organize supplies, lines up cans, stacks bandages, helps me with things without even being asked. She learns fast, way too fast. No child should know how to pack trauma kits, but here we are. Our next trip to the warehouse district is worse than the city. Wide open spaces, no cover. I wait until overcast skies kill the shadows. Inside one shopping hub, I find generators, medical pallets, field trauma kits. I almost laugh. Almost. That's when I hear metal scraping behind me. They've started moving in packs. 3 infected circle slowly, not rushing, testing. I climb shelving and fire downward. 1 drops, 2 scatter. Not flee, repositioning. I throw my last Molotov. Flames crawl across oil-slick concrete. Their screams echo through the warehouse. I load my pack until my shoulders ache. On the way out, I spot fresh footprints. Human. Recent. I change routes twice before heading home. That night I sat on my porch with my rifle until sunrise. I don't think about ghosts anymore. Thinking about ghosts wastes calories. I think about Emily. I think about choke points. I think about winter insulation. I've started making my fallback routes through the forest, caches built in waterproof containers, food, ammo, and medical. If we lose the cabin, we don't die with it. I teach Emily to shoot. She hates it, but she learns. Her first hit is clean, center mass. She doesn't smile, just lowers the rifle and whispers, "I don't like it." "I know," I said. But she keeps practicing. Every night I update the list: fuel, insulin, water filters, winter clothing, more antibiotics. The list never gets shorter, it just changes shape. Emily adds her own item. She writes it carefully, crayons scavenged from a daycare. Her handwriting is shaky. She adds blankets. I add 3 more to tomorrow's run. The infected are changing. They don't wander as much. They watch. They remember paths. They wait. The survivors are worse. They form groups. They take territory. They stop helping. And every supply run gets longer, harder, and colder. But Emily laughs sometimes now, quiet laughs. She hums while organizing shelves. And when storms roll in, she sits beside me with a flashlight and tells me which clouds look like animals. So I keep walking, I keep scavenging, and I keep fighting. Because this isn't about rebuilding the world. It's about keeping one small human alive inside of it. The first snow comes in sideways, not gentle, not peaceful. It arrives like the world is trying to erase itself. Emily presses her face against the cabin window, fogging the glass with small breaths. "It's quiet," she says. "It won't stay that way. Winter changes everything. The sound travels farther, tracks stay longer, and hunger gets louder." I reinforce doors with scavenged steel brackets, stack firewood under a tarp, move food stores closer to the living area, and set motion lines wider and deeper into the trees. Emily helps without being asked. She hands me nails, counts boards, keeps watch. She doesn't hum anymore. The infected stop wandering. That's the first sign something is wrong. They gather instead, not in herds, but in lines, along tree edges, at the bottom of the slope. They just stand there, watching. I see them through binoculars at dawn, dozens of them, still, heads slightly torqued upward, like they're listening for something only they can hear. They don't rush at the cabin. They don't scream. They just wait. Emily notices before I say anything. "They're making a fence," she whispers. She's right. They're forming a perimeter. My stomach knots. Predators don't rush fortified prey. They starve it out. 3 days into the siege, I find the trail. Boot prints leading away from the cabin, half buried under fresh snow. They weren't there before. I follow them a quarter-mile downhill. That's where I find the blood, frozen in dark ribbons across branches. Then I find a jacket, torn open, empty. I don't find a body, just the pack. Inside there are maps, notes, supply routes, and a handwritten list. I sit on the snow for a long time after that, curious who was trying to get to the cabin. Emily waits quietly when I return. She doesn't ask. She already knows. They test us at dusk. 5 infected approach slowly, not charging, not screaming, just walking. I let them get close, too close. Then I drop them with controlled headshots. The rest don't rush, they retreat. That's when I realize this is reconnaissance. They're measuring response times, ammo usage, and angles. They aren't attacking, they're studying. That night, I move Emily to the crawl space and sleep in my boots. Gunshots echo from the ridge 2 miles east. Not infected, it's too controlled. I see firelight through the trees. Another survivor group, maybe the grocery store men, maybe someone new. Emily grips my sleeve. Are they bad? I tell her most people are when they're scared. The infected began drifting towards that gunfire. They don't sprint, they converge. 10 minutes later, screaming carries on the wind. Then silence. The infected return to their positions around the cabin, still in that same pattern of fence. Day 5. We're running low on propane. Generator fuel is at 40%. I move Cassius closer under the cover of darkness. Emily carries light items. She trips once, doesn't cry, just gets back up. I teach her hand signals, silent movement, how to breathe shallow in cold air. She learns fast. Again, too fast. They come just before dawn, not all at once, in waves. The first wave hits perimeter alarms. I take them from the elevation. Second wave pushes from the east tree line. Third wave circles behind. They're coordinating. I throw flares to break their night vision. Molotovs light the snow orange. Burning infected don't usually scream. These hiss. 2 get inside the porch. 1 reaches the door. Tanya fires from the window. A clean hit. She doesn't flinch. The infected finally retreat as daylight breaks. 27 bodies surround the cabin, and more stand watching from the woods. This wasn't an attack, it was pressure. They're forcing movement. We can't stay. Static defense is death. I pack essentials only: medical, ammo, food, maps. Emily grabs her blanket. I let her. We leave through the ravine route at dusk. I make sure the cabin cannot be used, so I set it on fire. It burns behind us. I don't look back. We walk until our legs shake, until cold eats through layers, until Emily finally falls asleep on my back. The infected don't follow immediately. They let us go. They know we'll lead them somewhere new, and that's what terrifies me the most. This isn't an outbreak anymore. It's a migration, and we are prey to that move. But Emily breathes warm against my neck, and that's enough for now. The world is shrinking, winter is tightening its grip, and the infected are learning. But they don't get hurt. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. As we travel along, we don't talk much at first. The snow swallows sound. Every step is a soft crunch. Trees loom overhead like tired sentinels, their branches sagging under white weight. The sky hangs low and gray, pressing down on the world. Emily rides on my back until her legs wake up. Then she walks beside me, small boots sinking into drifts. She holds my sleeve with 2 fingers when the wind gusts hard. We pass frozen streams coated in icy glass, abandoned deer trails, a rusted tractor half buried in snow. Crows perched on the steering wheel like they're waiting for it to start again. The world feels paused, not dead, but waiting. I teach Emily how to watch tree lines, how to read wind, how to recognize when snow has been disturbed recently. She listens, always listening. We shelter in an old ranger station that smells like pine rot and mice. I clear corners. She stacks firewood. I light a small fire in a steel barrel. The glow paints orange shadows on the peeling walls. She eats soup slowly. Between spoonfuls, she tells me about her mom's laugh, about how her dad used to sing in the car even when he got the words wrong. She doesn't cry, she just speaks, like she's afraid moments and memories will disappear if she doesn't say them out loud. I listen. I don't interrupt. That night she asks, "Did you have kids?" I nod. 5. Her eyes widen. "Do they know where you are?" I shake my head. She considers that, then she scoots closer to me, just enough so our shoulders touch. 3 days later, we reach an industrial park. Steel skeletons of warehouses rise from snow like fossilized ribs. Wind howls through broken loading bays. I leave Emily hidden in a culvert with snacks and a whistle. She hates it, but she understands. Inside the buildings, I find pallets of bottled water, medical crates, winter gloves still in packaging. In one office, I discover children's coloring books. I take 2. The infected here move differently. They linger in shadow. They don't rush. They track. I take longer routes back, double back twice, carry more weight than I should. When I returned, Emily is exactly where I left her. She hands me a drawing. It's us. It's stick figures, but she gave me a beard. It happens at a gas station. We're scavenging snack aisles. She finds a pink backpack, the same kind she used to have. She freezes. Her breathing changes. Then she drops to the floor and curls into herself. "They're here," she whispers. "They're here again." I kneel. I wrap my arms around her, rock her slowly. "It's okay," I tell her. "It's just us." She sobs into my jacket. Hard, ugly, necessary. Afterwards, she falls asleep holding my sleeve. I carry her the rest of the day. She starts calling me Colton less. Sometimes she says, "Hey." Sometimes she just touches my arm. Once, after a hard day, she says quietly, "I don't feel scared when you're close." I don't answer because I didn't trust my voice. I teach her knots, how to filter water, how to set simple traps. She teaches me patience, how to notice birds again, how to find shapes in clouds. At night, she curls beside me in blankets and asks what stars are called. I make some of them up. We pass towns swallowed by vines, playgrounds rusted into silence, churches filled with leaves, highways cracked open by frost, cars frozen mid-escape. Sometimes we see other survivors, from a distance. No one waves anymore. We trade quietly once, canned peaches for antibiotics. Emily holds my hand the entire time. The infected are smarter. Winter is colder, and the road is longer. But Emily laughs sometimes now. She sings under her breath while packing bags. She tells me which trees look friendly. I carry supplies, weapons, maps, and she carries hope. And somehow, that weighs more, I think. I don't know where we're going yet, just away. Away from the static places, away from waiting. Because survival isn't about forts, it's about movement. And love. And who you refuse to leave behind. They took her parents. They took her childhood. They don't take her future. Not while I'm still breathing. It happens fast. It always does. We're moving through a strip mall corridor when gunfire erupts from the far end. Survivors, panicked. Infected answer immediately. Emily grips my coat. I turn, and a second group crashes through a side entrance. Bodies collide, people screaming. Infected pouring in. Someone slams into me. I lose my footing. Emily is ripped from my grasp. I hear her scream once, just once. Then chaos swallows everything. "Emily!" No answer. My heart starts hammering like it's trying to escape my ribs. I push forward, knife first, rifle barking. I drop two infected at close range. Blood steams in cold air. I vault the checkout counter, slide under shattered shelving. A man grabs my pack. I break his wrist. He screams. I don't slow. I find her shoe near a toy aisle. Pink. Small. That's when something inside me changes. This isn't survival anymore. This is retrieval, and God help whoever's taken her. I track boot prints through blood and snow. 3 adults, moving fast, using Emily as leverage. I stalk them through the alleys and abandoned storefronts. Infected trail behind us, drawn by the noise. I wait until they stop near an auto garage. Then I move. First man drops from a headshot through broken glass. Second turns. I put 2 rounds center mass in him. Third drags Emily behind a wrecked truck. I rush him. He swings a pipe. I take it across the shoulder and keep coming. Knife under his jaw. Emily screams. I grab her and pull her close. The infected arrive seconds later. I don't fight them. I run. We escape through drainage tunnels and snow-filled culverts until my lungs burn. I don't stop until we're miles away. Emily doesn't speak for 2 days. She doesn't let go of my jacket, not even when she sleeps. That night, by firelight, she finally whispers, "I thought you were gone." I kneel in front of her. I take her face in my hands. "I will always come for you." She studied my eyes, then nods. That's when she starts calling me Colton less. Sometimes she just says, "Hey." Sometimes she leans against me. Sometimes she holds my hands. Smoke in the trees. We smell it before we see it. Wood smoke, not wildfire. Controlled burn. Emily lifts her hood and looks at me. "People?" "Yeah." She grips my hand. "We haven't seen organized survivors in weeks. Just scattered ghosts. Smoke means structure. Structure means rules, and rules always come with someone enforcing them. We crest a ridge and see lights below. Flood lamps rigged, the generators, chain link fencing wrapped in tarp. Vehicles parked nose out like they're ready to move fast. A settlement built inside an abandoned ski lodge. Emily whispers, "It looks warm." That's how they get you. 2 armed guards step out when we approach, rifles up, not shaking, professional. "Stop there." I raise my hand slowly. "My name's Colton. That's Emily." They look her over, then me. One of them speaks into a shoulder mic. After a moment, the gate opens. Inside feels organized. Barrels of firewood, water stations, cooking tents, people moving with purpose. Kids, real kids. Emily stares. I feel her heartbeat through her glove. A woman with tired eyes introduces herself as Kara. "We trade safety for contribution," she says. "No freeloaders." "I can work," I answer. She nods. "You'll meet Holden." That name lands heavy. Holden runs the refuge. Former corrections officer, broad shoulders, calm voice, dead eyes. He sizes me up like equipment. Emily stays behind my leg. "You military?" he asks. "No." "Law enforcement?" I hesitate. "Not anymore." He studies that. We don't allow weapons inside common areas. I hand over everything except my knife. He notices, then allows it. Power respects power. He leans down to Emily. "What's your name, sweetheart?" She doesn't answer. He straightens. "She talks?" "Sometimes." He nods. "We protect kids here." That should sound reassuring, but it doesn't. Refuge runs on labor credits. You chop wood, you eat. You pull guard duty, you get warm clothes. I volunteer for perimeter patrol and scavenging runs. Emily helps in the kitchen. She starts smiling at another girl named Hannah. They trade drawings. I almost forgot where we are. Almost. At night, Holden's people walk elevated platforms with rifles. No one moves after curfew. I notice doors don't have inside handles. 3 days in, Holden lays it out. No unauthorized leaving, no outside contact, no independent supply caches, no dissent. "We survive together," he says. Translation, "We obey together." Emily sleeps curled against my side. I keep my boots on. They send me out on a run with 2 men. Grocery store, pharmacy annex, hardware yard. We find fuel stabilizer, medical gauze, dry beans. One of the men pockets painkillers. The other looks away. Back at the refuge, Holden beats the thief in front of everyone. Not brutal, methodical. Emily sees it. Her grip tightens on my jacket. Kids sleep in a locked wing. Guard posted outside. Emily asks why. "For safety," Kara tells her. That night, Emily whispers, "They close the door from the outside." I don't sleep that night. Holden approaches me alone the next day. "You're capable," he says. "We could use you." I don't like where this is going. "You and the girl get better rations, heated quarters, protection. What's the cost?" "You enforce." I see it clearly now. He isn't building refuge. He's building control. I don't answer. He nods slowly and tells me to think on it. Emily tells me she heard crying in the night. Not infected. Human. She said guards dragged someone out after curfew. No one came back. That's when I decide it's time to leave. We move during generator maintenance. I cut fence ties, disable 1 floodlight. Emily follows exactly like I taught her, silent and low. A guard spots us. I take him down quietly. We disappear into the tree line before alarms go up. Gunfire chases us into the dark. We don't stop running until dawn. Emily leans against me as the sun rises. Were they bad? I think about Holden's eyes, the locked doors, the labor credits. They forgot why they were surviving. She nods like that makes sense. The refuge wasn't salvation. It was a warning. People don't become monsters overnight. They become managers first. And I will never trade Emily's freedom for warm walls. Not ever. They don't get her. Not while I'm still breathing.